Today we're going to show you how to make an ice rink that is 25 feet wide, 55 feet long. And I'm going to have my friend Dan help me today because his yard is a little bit bigger than mine. We're going to start by making the border out of 4-inch PVC pipe with the elbow and the connector pieces. Connect the pieces of PVC together, then lightly tap it with an axe or a hammer while the other person holds it into place.
We've got to trim the branches back so that the leaves and clutter doesn't fall into the ice. It's also good to rake up all the leaves so that the liner lays flat on the ground.
Now we're going to use stakes and rebar to reinforce the connecting points.
On the corner where you're going to need to raise it up to level it, I use rebar so that it can go deep in the ground. We're also going to put some in the middle where we're going to have to raise it up. I'm going to cut these 2x4s into 1-foot sections so that I can pile them up to level out the frame. Here we go. You're going to want to add wood pieces until the whole thing is level. Lucy, I think. After you get it level, pound the rebar down so that nobody gets hurt.
We're going to use these boards and extra sections of PVC to make a small wall in the corner where it needs to be raised up.
Now we're going to cover the rink with the tarp. For the tarp, you want to have it be at least 5 to 10 feet wider and longer than your rink so that you've got extra. And we use the bricks to hold down the edges of the tarp.
Because the hose will freeze if it's outside, we have to run the hose from the inside of the house out to the rink. You're going to want to pull the tarp to try to get it as flat as possible. Well, we let the hose run for several hours into the night, and now I'm going to show you what it looks like here in the morning. We're going to let it freeze solid before we add another layer. In the corner where it's thickest, it will take several days to freeze solid.
So we've got our base slab down, and now we're going to be, for the next 3 nights, adding thin layers to build up the thickness of the ice to the top of the frame. Repeat that 7 more times tonight, and tomorrow, and the next night.
We're now going to make a Minnesota Cold logo out of a tarp so that we can lay it in the ice. We're going to use some string and a marker to create the circle part of the logo first. Now I'm going to make an outline of Minnesota with the marker before I cut it out. Then I will make the play button after that. There we go. Now the trick will be making sure that it can lay flat while we pour the ice over the top of it. Now we're ready to lay down the logo.
And one thing we learned is wait to pound down the rebar until after the rink freezes, because the PVC pipe can jump over the rebar.
Lay a thin layer of water underneath. Put the tarp logo on top. Then let it freeze. Then you're going to add layers of water on top of that so that you got a good inch of ice on top of your logo. Now we're going to cut some of the bubbles in the tarp, fill them with water so that they can freeze down. So to make sure that the logo is fully immersed in water, we're going to build up the edge a little bit so that we can get some more ice on the rink. Dan's got the final layers of ice on, so it's now ready for the kids to skate.
And for a little added fun, we've attached a slide to the house. And make sure to subscribe and watch more Minnesota cold and how-to videos of ours.